Hey guys, so just another update video. The reason why I'm filming on my phone is purely for the high frame rate, so make sure you have your video set to 60 FPS on YouTube. Reason for that is I've been quite busy lately. So we've had a bunch of new firmware testing going on, and I decided that because the new firmware is so good that I would also finally address the config app, which, you know, it's okay, it does the job, but I wasn't very happy with the UI. It looks a little bit too primitive and a bit too all over the place because I've been getting some feedback and I've realized that for new users, it's a little bit unintuitive. So I've decided to address that finally. And also, just as a little comparison here, this is what happens when you do some graphing. You can kind of see how the charts look not entirely smooth. The lines kind of just pop on. So with that, let me show you the revamped UI, which should be out within maybe the next hour after posting this video. So you can check the Ultimate Nag52 website for that. But this is the new UI. It looks quite a bit simpler, I think, for new users. Obviously, it tells you also the commit of the config app, so you can check for updates this way. All the resource and everything is just out on display. And all of the pages have pretty much gotten a little bit of an overhaul, but what I really like is the new data logger. If I can click it. So first of all, you have controls. You can actually select how long you want the charts to be and also what interval you want to query the ECU. Let's just see if I put this down to 10 seconds. Look how smooth this is. It basically renders this at the refresh rate of your computer. So in my case, I have 144 Hertz display, so it's rendering it at about 144 Hertz. If you have a 60 Hertz display, it renders at 60 Hertz. So yeah, I'm very happy with the new config app. As I said, I'll be posting this very shortly after posting this video. Now, secondly, as I do a lot of traveling to Germany and stuff, I normally have to carry my setup, which looks like this whole valve body with all the solenoids on it, and it's quite cumbersome. So I decided today to make a baby valve body, which has everything. It's got the little switch here for the parking lock, the two the speed sensors, and the temperature sensor there, and all the solenoids connecting up to the TCU. But when I was disassembling this, I found something very interesting. Let's put this here. This here is the parking lock for the gearbox, or parking lock detection. So basically, when you're in drive, this switch is about here, and when you go to park, it moves the switch all the way in. Now what that does is it breaks the circuit such that the temperature cannot be read. This is why in park or neutral, the gearbox temperature is normally non-attainable on the original ECU, because this physically interrupts the circuit. That's also how the gearbox knows, or the TCU knows it's in park, is it's a dual purpose thing. But what you'll notice is if I take this lever out completely, there's no switch on it or anything. And that is actually done by this guy here. So I found that inside there is actually a glass tube with a vacuum, and I don't know how much my phone can zoom in on this, but you might be able to see that there are two little tiny leaves of metal. And what happens is one of them is magnetic, and as this magnet rides near them, it pushes them together. And then when the magnet slides past it, they open back up again. And I guess this is why sometimes this parking lot can fail, because this is also just a tiny flimsy piece of metal. If you move the car forwards and backwards enough times, this will kind of flex and fatigue. And also not to mention the fact that there's temperature involved, because you go from a hot gearbox to a cold gearbox. So yeah, it's just a cute little, nice little find I made whilst doing this little thing here. This cool thing. But yeah, everything works on this valve body. Let's use my Commander app I have for this dev mode TCU. So I can turn the solenoids on. Caution, this is going to be a little bit loud. That's a torque converter solenoid. And then everything works. So I can basically travel with my little, my funny little baby valve body, or conductor plate, if you will. Yeah, quite happy with that. Obviously, this is still happening, this TCU here. I'm still working on it, still working on the I/O layer, because it is a lot of work, because I'm also doing stuff with fail-safe. So for instance, if one of the solenoids shorts, it should disconnect power to all the valves. This is the way the original EGS works. And then lastly, today, actually, the new version of the 1.3 TCU I've sent in for production for the test batch. This will just be 5 boards that I'll hand out to certain individuals, and they'll just make sure that everything works. And then after that, I guess I can start selling the new 1.3 boards, which will have a minor improvements to the board, but nothing major like the 2.0, which is going to be like a completely different product. So yeah, just thought I'd quickly send this update out, just to show you guys everything that's happening in the past couple of weeks. So see ya.